We are live, good to go. Everyone, welcome back to Open House Live. Today, I'm pleased to be joined by Audrey Crisp Interiors on Instagram. We actually visited Audrey's house ourselves probably about a year ago, right, Audrey? It's been
or longer, I think, maybe a year.
Yeah, it's been a minute. And Audrey was one of the very first people to share their home on Open House. And anyways, good friends, and it's exciting to be chatting with you again. You're from Mission Viejo, right? That's where you're at right now?
Yeah, Rancho Mission Viejo.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Which is Viejo, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Audrey, I'd love to, just have you kind of briefly introduce yourself. And I'd love to also have you kind of tell us how you got into, I guess, the creator world and how you got, into the business of sharing home inspo and stuff like that on Instagram.
Yeah, so I've always loved it. About 5.5 years ago, I just decided to start a separate account aside from my personal one, and just started kind of posting inspiration pictures and kind of mock-ups of e-design, thinking maybe I could do a little bit of e-design on the side because my boys were little, and I thought I could easily just do it from home. Okay. Sorry.
Special guest. What's your cat's name?
That's Hobbs.
That is amazing.
That doesn't usually do that. I didn't even know he was down here. He's quiet. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, so I kind of just did that. And then from there, I just kind of grew and started making friends with people. And, brands would start reaching out to me. I started reaching out to brands, building a following. And it took about a year to get to 10,000 people. And then I kind of just, kind of snowballed from there. The last year or so has been a lot slower, but, it grew pretty quickly. And I've just made connections, and I just kind of turned into an influencer as opposed to kind of doing e-design. I do that a little bit, but mostly I kind of just work on my own home and work with brands and do collaborations and stuff. So, and post other people's pictures. So it kind of helps them gain exposure, and it helps make my feed look pretty.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I think I noticed on your account, I see obviously photos of your home and photos of other people's homes. Would you say that's why, people love following you, is that like they get to see, an insight into your house, but also you're kind of curating other design inspo for them?
Yeah, I think it kind of is a little more interesting when it's not just my house all the time from different angles. No offense to pages that do that, because I think that's amazing too, and it takes a lot of work. But I just kind of joke and say that my Instagram's kind of like the Pinterest of Instagram. Like people can, I think people go there for inspo, but I'm able to do brand deals and whatnot because I do post my own home. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. I don't have to always come up with original content, but I kind of sprinkle it in there. So for me, it's worked out well. I don't know if it'll ever change and just go to my house, but I think I'll probably continue on what I've been doing. So it seems to be working pretty good. So
yeah, definitely. I'm sure it definitely seems to be working. I think too, like we at Open House, we've talked with obviously hundreds of influencers, and from anywhere from people that are focused on beauty to fashion to lifestyle to home. And I think it's actually really cool, the ones that we've talked with in the home category specifically that focus on the home. It just seems like there's a lot of like camaraderie. Is that the right word? Where it just seems like everybody's kind of on the same team. And so anyways, I think it's really cool that,
Yeah, it's really fun to reach out to people and share ideas and just get inspiration from others. And I've made a lot of really great friends through here. So I love it.
That's awesome. Well, kind of on the vein of brands and brand deals, I'd love, I think I mentioned before we hopped on, we have, we share some of this content on LinkedIn. So we have quite a few people that work within brands and marketing departments and influencers that will see this. From a creator's perspective, what advice would you have for, marketing teams within a brand to work better with creators?
Yeah, I guess just to understand their worth and, make sure the deliverables meet the payment, whether it's, I don't know. I usually only do exchanges without getting paid if it's just a story, at this point, because it's like I don't need another pillow. But if I'm going to get a pillow and I get paid, then it's worth it for me. It's worth my time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like it when they let us have a lot of creative control, as long as there's a few stipulations. But when they're too picky, or they kind of they expect too much, and especially if they're not paying you, it kind of is frustrating and makes you not want to work with them again. So I think just letting the influencer have a little bit more creative control, and if it's in budget, to to pay them if they can. And in exchange, they can do blog posts, stories, reels, if they want more deliverables, and that's fine as well. So just kind of, that's kind of what I have.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kind of making sure that the deliverables match the expectations of compensation. I'm sure sometimes you see the whole gamut of, what they expect for dollars, I think. Anyways, my hope is that creators and influencers are continually like getting what they're worth, because I think just so much exposure and so much business results can be driven through creators, and a lot. I think we're sometimes romantic about like the old advertising ways, like, and it's just going to take a minute for creators to kind of like be recognized as, I guess their worth compared to, more traditional advertising. So I think that's awesome. And then the other point too about, being able to have creative control over what you're doing with the brand, I think is important too, because you obviously have an audience for a reason, and you know how to communicate with that audience. And so
if they want us to use hashtags and stuff, that doesn't bother me. But when they want me to say certain things, I'm just like, like, let me just, it sounds too addish, when they want certain things said. So
Yep. No. Yeah. Well, that's great advice. Thanks for sharing that. Do you have a brand or two that you've worked with up to this point that you think like that you've loved working with? Any that come to mind?
I love Article. They are very generous. They don't do payment, but the prices are all, the pieces are all worth, it's furniture. So it's like, I don't expect really someone to pay me when they're giving me a couch or, TV stand. Mm-hmm. So they've been really good. Boutique Rugs is good because you pretty much anytime I need a rug, I can, ask them for one, and they don't expect a lot or ask for, drafts or anything. You just post away. I'm trying to think who else comes to mind. I love Woven Nook. They're a pillow company, and they do have some rugs and stuff, and they're friends of mine. They're really awesome, and anytime I need a pillow, they're more than happy to send me one, and they'll send them to me sometimes without me even knowing. I'll just get in the mail, I'm like, oh, thank you. So yeah, I'm giving other ones.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's some great ones out there. So
yeah, I'm not familiar with Woven Nook. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Woven, Woven. I think it's dot and then Nook. They're a Utah company. So
cool. Yeah. Awesome. I'll have to check them out. Well, cool. Yeah, I think that's an important point too. The thing you said about Article, where I think these home goods brands, they actually have a good opportunity where they have products that are worth a lot of value. So creators will be willing to do collaborations with them in exchange for product, which is not really the case, with a lot of beauty and fashion brands, but they still need to let creators have their creative control and style those pieces in their homes the best.
Yeah, like if I'm going to buy something anyway and I reach out to a brand, I don't really expect payment because it's like I was going to buy it anyway. So it's, but yeah, then there's the whole tax situation though. You have to pay taxes on, the item's value, which I think a lot of influencers don't understand. So that's something you have to kind of consider as well, that, is this item worth me paying X amount of taxes on it later in the year? So
definitely lots and lots to consider. It's interesting. I just think as this sector matures, all of these creators are really, their own business owners, obviously, and entrepreneurs, and just have a lot to manage besides just the work that goes into the content creation. So
yeah, a lot that goes into it for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to dive into your home. Your home, we scanned it, like you said, probably over a year ago. And anyways, I just want to walk through it with you. It's always been one of my favorites. I think we have some similar style taste. And so anyways, excited.
Oh, thank you. You've done a lot of tours, so that's really nice of you to say that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, before we walk around and dive into it too much, Audrey, I'd love for you to kind of, now we're dumped right in here to the living room. I'd love how would you describe your style and your aesthetic?
Yeah, so it's kind of changed. It's even changed since the tour, but I kind of like, a mid-century modern, a little bit of boho. This definitely is kind of reading more kind of desert modern. I don't know. I'm trying to kind of get a little bit away from that, but I kind of am liking more of like an updated class, like a timeless, like clean lines, organic look now, if that makes sense. So it's kind of a lot of different styles, but yeah, a lot of kind of the citizenry vibes and just kind of like, like mud cloth and some patterns, but mostly neutral colors, things like that, textures, wood, black and white, stuff like that. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. So you said, what are some, just off the top of your head, just looking at, this room, the dining room, kitchen, and living room area, what are some things that you've updated since we were here last?
So I have a new coffee table. I have a new rug. I have a new TV stand. The chair's different. um, so that's just what's different in there. This room looks a little bit different now. Same couch
Cool.
now and same table. In the dining room, I have, let's see. Yeah, so I got to refresh my. Yep, I have a new table and I have different chairs now and a different rug. And then
lots of rotation.
Yeah, so I've definitely changed it up a bit. And then I have like a little black cabinet over where that plant is right now.
Cool. That's awesome.
And not really anything has changed. I did get different bar stools. They look the same as you can see in the picture, but they're lighter.
Uh-huh. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. But other than that, the kitchen's not too different. A little bit different cutting board and things like that. Maybe a little bit of decor that's different, but overall the kitchen's pretty similar.
That's awesome. What would you say, Audrey, is like your favorite room in your house? Like the room that you feel as a designer proud of that you like put together?
Yeah, I don't know. I think living and kitchen and the living room. I think just this area that you're in right now is probably my favorite.
This version of your living room, what would you say are like some of your favorite pieces in your living room right here?
I still love the couch. And then of course I still love the frame TV. I love that hand chair. You kind of can't see it as much with that pillow on it, but the hand chair is a really fun piece that I still,
yes,
just a fun little conversation piece. Yeah. It's just a fun little wood chair that looks like a hand. Yeah. People always love that.
It is awesome. I love that chair. It's definitely,
probably would never have bought it on my own, but it was a collaboration. So I'm like, cool. It's a good opportunity to get a piece like that for our house.
yes.
Yeah.
The thing that I love about it is it's just, I really appreciate, I mean, if you were to do like if this was like your dining chair and you had a bunch of dining chairs, it would be like too much,
Right.
but like where you just have this one piece and it's just like, it's more like a piece of art in your house than
Totally.
like
Yeah.
a piece of furniture. And it's, I don't know. I remember being at your place and seeing that for the first time. And I was like, that's one of the coolest chairs I've ever seen.
Oh, nice. Yeah. The cat loves it. Sit on it. Yeah. It's more of like an art piece, or the cat loves to sit on it, but yeah.
That's awesome. And do you get a lot of people asking about your frame TV? Because, I'm sure people don't expect that to be a TV when they first look at it.
Yeah, people that have never heard of them before definitely think, they'll be like, "Oh, where'd you get that art?" Or "I love your frame, your picture on the wall." I'm like, "Oh, thanks," and all of it's just art, Etsy and whatnot. So it's fun just to switch it up for the holidays. And I had a really fun time during Halloween doing a bunch of different Halloween prints and changing it up. So it was fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure it's your party trick when people are over. You're like,
Right.
"Oh wait, let me just turn the TV on."
Yeah.
Okay, well, I wanted to ask you about your upstairs loft, so I'm going to make my way up there.
Okay.
I think this is a really, really cool spot, and I believe your furniture up here is from Article, correct?
Yeah, correct. I had just gotten it right after it was like a few days before you guys came. I pretty much got a lot of everything in there. Yeah, the couch
awesome.
is there and the table are from Article, and then there's a lamp that's above the white desk that's from Article. Yeah, right there. That's from Article.
This one right here is from Article as well.
I think that chair. Oh no, that chair is not from Article. But I have right now just a black computer rolly chair from Article that's there now. But up there,
cool.
Much looks the same. I haven't really done too much up there. It's kind of less of a priority just because it's kind of up in the loft and nobody really sees it. But probably should get some art. But I think the pillows are a little different now. But I mean, there's not much change. I've added a couple things to the coffee table. But yeah.
Awesome. What do you guys use this area for? You watch TV up here? TV mostly downstairs.
Sometimes the boys will watch TV up there or play video games. They'll do art and homework sometimes on that desk, but honestly, we don't use it too much. It's just kind of almost like a walkthrough. The TV stand's different.
Yeah.
TV stand is different up there. That's kind of one thing that's changed.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, sounds like we're going to need to do an updated
I
tour
know,
here pretty soon.
right? And then maybe I can get my act together and get my bedroom all good and the boys' room and stuff, because those weren't ready when you guys came. And so,
That's right. Yeah. So are both the bedrooms up here? Are they down this hall?
so right to the right is that right there is the playroom, and
Okay.
then the left is the boys' room. That's the laundry room right there, and then on the other side, over by the hats, the hat wall.
Oh, gotcha. I didn't even notice. Yeah, tell us. Give me the story behind this hat wall. So
Yes.
growing up, I had like a baseball hat wall with like all of my favorite teams, you know, but it definitely wasn't like a style or for decoration. It was just a good way to store my hats. But I'd love to kind of hear the story behind the hat wall, because I think it's really cool.
Thanks. I had a bunch of hats and just decided to put them on the wall, just kind of to add, act like art. So I kind of just didn't have anywhere else to put them. And I'm like, well, I'll just put them there and I can easily grab them if I want one, and kind of doubles as art. So.
Yeah, awesome. I love it. I think it's way cool. Have you collected more hats since we were?
There's probably 3 or 4 more since then. Yeah. Yeah. I think about it.
We all have our what's the word? Our vice. Mine is shoes.
Nice. Yeah. Much of a shoe girl, so I prefer hats for sure. But yeah.
Well, one last thing I wanted to highlight, I'm going to come all the way down again, was this bedroom. I also love the guest bedroom. Do you guys use that guest bedroom quite a bit? Like, do you have family or friends come into town?
My husband actually is in there working every day, so he uses that desk. And then whenever someone comes to sleep, they'll use the room, and he'll just either go into work or just work when they're, not using it. So yeah, it gets a lot of use actually. Yeah.
An office / guest bedroom.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say 80% for a workspace, 20% for a guest bedroom. So
that's awesome. That's way cool. And how has the working from home been going over the last 18 months or so?
Good. My husband goes in a little bit more now, but yeah, he kind of just loves not having to commute and being home earlier, and he can come out and have dinner with us and then go back to work. Whereas, if he was at the office, he'd probably come home at like 8 or 9 and miss dinner and have to warm up his leftovers. So it's worked out great just having him home. And sometimes it's tricky with the kids being loud, and sometimes he'll be on calls and he'll say, "Oh, be quiet. The kids are being too loud," or, so there's certain times it's tricky, but I think overall he likes it. So
that's awesome. That's way cool. Yeah, there's been some net positives come out of this crazy time, and I think a new work-life balance and schedule has been one of those things that I think hopefully will stick around. I think it's definitely been a positive change. Well, Audrey, one last question I wanted to ask you was, if I'm someone that is a fan, following your page and stuff, and I wanted to like redo a living room or just redo a room in my house, what advice would you have for me figuring out like what style I even want to do, or like how to pick stuff? I think a lot of people, like, obviously this comes really natural to you. Like, you've put together a really, really beautiful space in your home, but it doesn't come natural to everyone, so what advice would you have for someone that feels a little overwhelmed by it?
Yeah, I would say look on Pinterest, look on Instagram, see what you like and save those, take screenshots, and just kind of start slow. Like, don't get everything from the same store. You don't want it to look like you went and got everything from one store, even though my loft has a lot of article stuff. Don't take my advice. No, just kidding. But yeah, I think just kind of see what you like and don't go overboard. Spend good money on like furniture pieces, and you can, spend less money on like pillows, I think, and rugs. Just kind of, collect it over time, see what you like, and don't be afraid to move stuff around or eliminate. And there's lots of good sources. And
I think that is actually really, really great advice, because my wife and I, when we moved into our current house that we're living in, we, you have this tendency to just like want it to just be done right away, and so I remember like we bought pillows and we bought several things that we just like settled on because we were like, we got a new couch, and so like we just have to get pillows, but we like weren't patient enough to like really take the time to find something we love. And I definitely, I just think that's great advice. Like, take your time. You're going to be there a while. And
matchy stuff, like just get stuff that coordinates, but not matchy. You know what I mean? Like, and never get like a bedroom set. You don't want to get like a matching nightstand and matching bed and matching dresser. And I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So patience is a virtue, even when it comes to decorating and designing your space.
I've taken stuff home and seen it in my space and been like, nope, doesn't work. So then I just return it. So that's always helpful too. You know, make sure you can return something as well. So just have fun and play around. Yep. There's no wrong. So
yeah, it's supposed to be a good time, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Audrey, thank you so much for taking the time to connect for a few minutes. Obviously, we loved your home and you're really talented. Love following your page, and we'll make sure to link it here. But anyways, we'll have to reconnect soon and do a follow-up tour and follow-up conversation.
Awesome. That sounds great. Thank you so much. Good to see you.